everybody, weren't a Roberts train set. So this is Changing the Points Part 2. And it's going to start much like Part 1 ended. This is a few days later, and before I actually took all the points out, I thought I'd better do some really slow running with my other shunters. So I took my Janus 060 Port of London, my Bachmann 060 Class 3 shunter, and my 04 shunter. Yes, well, there we are. So just going to show you these running, bit of commentary with it, and it is 6 minutes, but of course slow running takes a long time, so I've sort of tried to speed it up where I can, but yeah, it's no good running and fast because then you don't see the effect. So and then we'll see some probably more like photos of my changing the points than video, and then hopefully run some of these trains again, and hope it's not too long. So cheers everybody, cheers. So as with the others, just give them a bit of a run on their 3 tracks. And as they're so slow, although A4O isn't, Speedy Gonzales. So let's try the 06, and this is at 5 miles an hour on Railmaster. Will it make it across? Is it going to do it? It did it. 1 mile an hour faster at 6. Did it do it? Still doesn't like the curve point. Probably means it won't like the express point either. We'll have to see, won't we? So this is the Port of London Janus 060, and this is at 7 miles an hour according to Railmaster. Let's see if this makes it. And will it make it over the curve point at this speed? Not a problem. Let's try it backwards, shall we? Interesting, it doesn't like it that way. So a definite failure on that. Need to give it a shove. Try it on these. That looks to be okay. So we'll see with the bigger point and see if we get a problem. So to show how slow this loco is, Railmaster is set at, believe it or not, 30 miles an hour to get this speed. So I don't think I'll do it at 6 or 7 miles an hour because it will probably take 2 hours to get across the point. Let's go and make a cup of tea while you're waiting. Will it stop on this point? No, it hasn't. That's pretty good. I'll put it in reverse again. Oh, let's see. So here we go again. So this is at the same speed, but I thought I'd put the sound on and see if it makes any difference, shall we? Here we go back again. So this is about it. Hopefully this one will go across okay, which is quite good. And I did need the record because once you take the points and move them, you don't really know, do you? So having this record, I can look back at it. So let's now get on to the point changing. So I'm just about to start doing the removals and the replacements, and obviously this is what I want to replace it with. And as you can see, I need to cut the track. Now, normal model makers and railroaders, they have a Dremel, don't they, to cut the track? Well, I unfortunately don't have one. The substitute one I had broke, and I haven't bought a new one. So what am I going to do? I think what I'm going to try and do is take this double straight that the level crossing is fixed to up, and put in a single one, which sounds fairly straightforward. And then obviously do what I have to do, not with it fixed to the layout. But unfortunately, I don't happen to have any single straights. But there are some here, along with a double. And when I went and bought the points from my local hobby shop, I also bought a set straight, 100 set straight Hornby straight, which is solid obviously, and two flexibles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace these tracks here with this long one, and it actually works spot on to the joints, and then I've got some smaller track to use on the level crossing and so forth. The only other problem I can foresee is that this point here, I have a feeling that the cable for it is trapped under one of the cross members. Now I did cut out little notches for them, so I'm hoping it will just slide through, but we'll have to see, because this one here is obviously going to move up there. So there we are, that's all done. That was pretty easy actually. And as you can see, there's my bits that I've salvaged, so I can use them. And here are my tools that I use just to do it. The knife is a letter opener, which works really well underneath the pins that I use. So, jobbed. So as you can see, I've managed to get up the other points. Not a problem really, fairly straightforward. And there we are. Great. So I've taken the level crossing off, left that middle bit. I can slide the rail under it hopefully. And there's the 2 points I've taken out. I'm going to use them somewhere else, I think. So here's a new point loosely in. Motor's still loose. And there's the other bit. So there's the gap I've got to fill. Isn't the problem. Now this end was a bit more problematical because the single straight for the level crossing would have given me a little gap like that right by the point, which I don't particularly want. So I've actually moved it up so that I've got the gap on the far side of the level crossing. But what it then did is it didn't let the level crossing line up with the sleepers, so I've had to sort of cut away to get it to work. So as you can see here, I've used some of my track mat to sort of make it look a bit like it's got a point. Obviously they don't do points, express points in that track mat, so I've had to just use the other ones. So I got the little bits of rail in there. I need to put sleepers in underneath, obviously. And there we are. I got my train set back again. And it don't look too bad, or not from this distance anyway. Got me level crossing back. I did have a problem with this, which I'll show you later on. And yeah, I don't think that looks too bad. So here's the hole I drilled to get wires through from my point motor in the new position. Had a bit of trouble with it. We must remember to vacuum as we drill these holes and everything, mustn't we? And why do our benches get so full of tools? It's hopeless, isn't it? Got me signal box to light up again. I've had to move where I put the connector there, look, you see. So yeah, I had a trouble with this, as I said, and when we do the live running, I'll show you. But I got it all reinstated, but with those round head screws, unlike this side, which is countersunk, albeit they need blacking out again. So I got my point motor in and I managed to connect it all up and it worked. I had to extend the cable somewhat. And I put my sleepers under the that little bit of rail. It seems to be working okay there. And as you see, I got the clip in and I think I put some sleepers here as well somewhere. So we own the Ginty. Or even Ginty, perhaps. So I thought I should run the Ginty first. So I ran it at a reasonable speed to see if it will run over. I didn't actually film all of this. I sort of stopped it halfway through. I don't quite know why. So I did it a little bit slower, and it ran very well across the new points. Not a problem. But when it gets to this level crossing, it stutters, as you can see. So
there's Ginty at 6 miles an hour on Railmaster. Will it make it through these points? I wonder. With the sound on.
So as you can see, it went across that bit, didn't it? Didn't it go across this one? It did. Great. But whoa, did it make it? No, it didn't.
So to stop the Ginty keep stopping on this level crossing, I beveled the edge of the bit with the screws in, and I've countersunk them in to make them a bit neater and blackened them out, and that seemed to stop it. So all I can assume is it was slightly level with the rail and it was lifting the wheel off the track. So, well, all the way along, I suppose. And there were the two screws took out and put the other ones in, the countersink instead of the rounded. I've not run this over at this speed before, especially with the carriages. Let's see.
So it's doing very well. I'm quite pleased.
Bit of stutter there. I can live with that. Be a bit of dirty track again. We'll get across the level
Lovely.
crossing.
So that cured it, just beveling that
Lovely.
did it. So I'll give it another little run a little bit faster again, just to check. And lovely, yeah, really happy with that, so pleased.
And all the time I was doing the work, this was running round, never a stutter or anything over the new point, so I'm pleased with that. And there we are.
So I just bought up Tornado to try with this, ran it reasonable speed. It's much smoother, isn't it? It doesn't sort of jar across, you know, like it did before. I didn't actually connect her up to carriages. It's just really to show that she'd run quite well. And I've got her going all the way round, but so it was actually going across 4 lots of points here. So it's going from the middle to the inside, and then across our new point to the outside.
This is 6 miles an hour on.
And then I did it slowly, just to see if we've got a problem with things. Because remember, it's only got pickups on the 6 driving wheels, so it's almost the same as the Ginty.
What about this one?
So not too bad. And there we are. So I'm going to have a go at the shunters.
Great.
That I showed you at the beginning, and we'll see how they go. So as I'm increasingly doing it, I'll give it a good old run around. This is flat out at 25 miles an hour. Watch out for the HST. So here we go. That one alright? Oh dear. I'm not particularly surprised, to be honest. And yes, of course it sticks there. I think the only thing with it is a stay alive, if I ever wanted to do it. But surprisingly, it came backwards with not a problem. So is that the pickups? Could be. Really weird. Did it a bit slower and it did it. It's really, there's no rhyme or reason with it. So I tried it really slowly backwards.
3 miles an hour.
And is it going to do it? Well, it did it there. Strange, isn't it?
I've done this at 40 miles an hour on the Railmaster. Didn't make it. Bit of push. No, didn't like it at all, does it? Not at all. No, it did that one. Right, go backwards. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. No, it doesn't like it, does it? I think we'll finish it there. And here's the Janus with the sound on. This is at 10 miles an hour on Railmaster. Not a problem. We'll try it backwards. Oh dear. No, it doesn't like it backwards, does it? Well, here we are at 7 miles an hour. See if it goes this side, this way. Ah, I thought we were going to make it there. But it nearly did it. So it's really strange, isn't it? Really, really strange. I think we'll stop it there before it sticks on the other one.
So I thought I'd hitch up Tornado to the old Mark 1 carriages that it did when it was the old points, and show it going through there. And it's at speed it looks so much less violent, doesn't it? So what I thought would be not a bad idea, and this is it going through slow again, just to show that it can go through slow, because you know this is basically, you know, like the Ginty, it's only got 6 driving wheels that pick up. So I thought I'd show this going through fast along with the old points in a split screen. So that's about to come up, not very long, don't blink, and you'll see the difference, I think. You can see that, can't you? So much more natural passing through this junction. So one of my subscribers said, how did the 395 do? Because he loves the 395, but I hadn't run it. So there's quite a bit of footage now with it running. So this is forwards, so the motor car is at the front, and it runs lovely over these, it really does. So I did some low shots of it. And then I followed it all round because it's going over this one as well, which it takes with no problems whatsoever. So it's actually running around here like a good one, isn't it? It's like the real thing really, isn't it, sometimes? Wow. He's in a hurry. So now going backwards. The power car is at the back. Not a problem. Off it goes. So we need enough speed back. So I hope you've enjoyed these different views of it, and hopefully my subscribers happy. I just thought I'd better show her running over slowly, and yeah, it's so realistic, isn't it? You don't see the carriage edge coming right out like you do with the small ones.
So everyone, with the 395 Javelin stops at a station that's far too short for it, the next operation on the railway is to do exactly the same with this set of points. I'm not going to film it, and you'll see when I do it, you'll see it in sort of a running session or something, because it's basically the same as the other side. I'm hoping that the point under the platform will come away enough so that I don't need to take the platforms out, and obviously again I need to move that point there further along here, like we did with the other one. So we'll see how we go, and obviously then do a bit of work on the track mat, which if I turn round I'll show you where it is on the floor behind me. As you can see in the dimness, there's the remains of my track mats that I cut up to do all the others, and there wasn't hardly a straight bit on there. There were a couple of points, basically it's all round. So we'll have to see how we get on to do this side, but hopefully I can get enough out of that. Hello everybody.
I hope you enjoyed what you've just seen, and on the screen behind me, one of my old videos is Gets from 2019, believe it or not. It seems a long time ago, doesn't it? Up at Milton Keynes, which of course a lot of us YouTubers are going to the one at the beginning of October on the 2nd and 3rd. So I'm there on the 2nd, the Saturday, and I'm, be quite happy if you want to come up and talk to me, or run a mile, might be the best way, might be safer. But anyway, so I'm looking forward to seeing other YouTubers, so to speak, in the flesh, rather than on a screen. So what I am happy that I've done these points swap. It certainly runs a lot better, and I think you'll agree with what you've seen, that it certainly looks more realistic, doesn't it? And I quite enjoy doing the split screen. It really does show the difference on how it looks. So I've got to do the other side, as I said, which I think I'm going to have to do off some steps to get over and reach it easier. So you'll see that in probably a running session at some stage. But obviously the next video is going to be about this, only this year, not in 2019. So we'll see how we go. All right. So I'd like to thank any new subscribers that have come on. And as I said at the beginning, if you do like what we do, not just me, but anybody, please like it, because I think it does make quite a bit of difference to the views we get. So, I'm going to finish here, and a bit longer than I hoped this, but I felt I wanted to put in what I did. So, see how we go. As for the 03 shunter, I was really disappointed that it's that bad, but it's, it's a very short wheelbase on that. So, we'll have to see if we can improve it somehow or other. We'll see. Cheers. Bye.